Hey everybody, it's your girl LEE and you are tuned in to Jigga Set Radio.
What you seen on the internet? Nah, I was listening to Jigga Set. Oh, I be listening to every show, keeping me all in the know on Jigga Set Radio. What you seen on the internet? Nah, I was listening to Jigga Set. Oh, I be listening to every show, keeping me all in the know on Jigga Set Radio.
Welcome to another episode of I did good on that one. Welcome to another episode of JSR Podcast, JSR Media.
At that particular time?
Did. I'm already starting off. I'm going to start it off already. I don't have time for hateration because it comes in all flavors.
I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. Who did that? All ranges, all sizes, baby.
Emoji.
I'm saying.
The emoji.
Okay.
we are here with another guest, a great guest, someone that's also with so much energy, and we love energy on this show. She told me how to introduce her on the show, so we're going to just go with Miss Lee. Introducing Miss Lee on the show, y'all.
Yes, indeed.
And she got a lot. She got a lot to talk about because she had practice. We did. Yes, we did. You did. We did a marketing video with you as well.
Man,
welcome.
We got the footage.
We got the footage. We might splice it in. We actually might splice it in.
It feels good to be back in the seat.
Yes,
it's
the hot seat that's black.
Comfy, baby. That's the way I'm at.
I need a couch like that on my side one day.
Okay.
Pray about the budget.
I'm just saying.
And hopefully they'll
I'm
manifest.
just saying the Lord is listening.
Pray about it.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So welcome to the show. You've had the pleasure of seeing several interviews with individuals that were on the show. So you are already familiar with the landscape and how I don't have a list. I'm actively listening and we're just going to go with the flow because this conversation is about you. We're just having a conversation, right? For the world, tell them who you are.
Ooh.
And this Lee persona. Tell them about that one as well. Persona.
Ooh.
It's part of you.
Ooh,
Persona.
That's tricky.
Persona.
Ooh, that's tricky.
Tomato.
Okay.
Lettuce.
Okay, first things first. I was literally born in the year of the Ashleys, okay?
The who?
Born of the year of the Ashleys.
What's the Ashleys?
Okay, 87, baby, the Ashleys, where everybody was named Ashley.
Oh, got it.
Okay.
That was before my time.
Everybody was named Ashley, all right?
It's the babies in the room.
Okay. So, when my grandparents brought me home, because I went with my grandparents first while my mom was getting herself together or whatever, and my grandmother was like, that's not going to be her name. That's name her after me. So, that's where Lee came from, because her name was Bertha Lee. Come on, Bertha. You know that's Bertha. Okay? So they gave me Lee. So my name ended up being Lee Ashley.
Lee Ashley. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So
Ashley became your unofficial middle name.
No, my middle name is Monet.
Fact.
Yeah, my name is Monet. So I have two first names because when my grandfather looked at me, he was like, "You're different. You're special, and it's going to take a special individual to deal with you." At first, I took that shit as an insult. Hold up, what you trying to say, nigga, now? Hold on. What that's supposed to mean, okay? But it made sense. It didn't make sense because there's some days you can get Lee, and then there's some days you can get Ashley, I'm going to tell you. And Ashley's a little bit more sensitive. Ashley's a little more in her little box, and you know she's safe and she's hidden, and but Lee, she out there.
And so for those that didn't know, we're talking about the duality that exists in her.
Present. I have two first names for a reason. She is out there, baby.
Okay, let's get to know Ashley Lee. Yes, let's get to know her for a second. Then we're gonna transition to the other. The one I feel like she's itching to come out.
Always.
So let's talk.
Not itching. You know, use another word. Not
anxious to come out. Anxious to come out. Shout out to Thesaurus.
Cream for that.
You know.
Shout out to Thesaurus. Okay, synonyms all day. Let's talk about Ashley. Where is she from, and how was her upbringing?
Ooh. You just had to go there. Hold on, I gotta take a swig for that.
That's fine. Shout out to Inebriation Station. I should have said that in the last one. Shout out to Inebriation Station, which is me.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit of the libations. Okay. So
I got her lit.
absolutely.
Pre-lit.
So I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a project girl. Let's be clear.
Not a project manager, but a project.
Yeah, project girl, project chick. Okay, I was raised in the projects, 919. Okay, Myrtle Avenue between Tompkins and Troop, baby.
All
that
right,
was
shout
me.
out. Shout out.
Okay,
New York.
all right.
York.
Shit,
New York.
damn right.
I don't even hear the. It must have dissipated the accent.
It did. It really did. Like when I moved to Atlanta, I was about 17.
Okay.
And I was like real rough around the edges. Like
It was the end.
I'm talking about real rough around
Like
the
spiky.
edges. You feel me? Like I'm talking about breaking umbrellas and beating bitches' asses rough. It's like it softened me up a bit because I had to learn how to talk to people again and try to, because I'm like, hey, this is not, this ain't what you're used to. You're not trying to make folks uncomfortable. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
So I consider myself a chameleon. I can blend in wherever I go.
Yeah, that's
for
a
the
great,
most part.
great ability.
You know what I mean? So I needed that in a sense because I was real rough. I was real.
Well, one to consider you a tomboy.
Yeah, I was very. So it was like I had to release that and try to step into my feminine energy instead of being so masculine, because the way that I grew up, I was the dude. I was the head of the house and everything else. Even though it was my mom, it was me and my mom, but she made me tough. Everything was on me.
This is to your audience.
Like, Lee, hey, I was just, like, bitch, this stuff needs to be done, X, Y, and Z. I'm like, nigga, you the mom, what the that, this,
Right.
this. I'm supposed to be the. I don't know what you want me to do. Like,
What is the nigga? You the mom.
help a nigga out. Help
is that
me.
masculine?
Help me. And I grew up with a bunch of boys, so it was just like I didn't have those kind of things around me to teach me certain things. I had to adapt to whoever I was around. It's like I would pick up their energy and then I would flow with that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I grew up in the mean streets, man.
The mean streets.
The mean streets, like.
So which?
Let me tell you something. My mama ain't lying. When she was like, it'll chew you up and spit you out. Like, it's the concrete jungle, baby.
So which part of New York did you grow up in? Brooklyn.
Bed-Stuy, baby.
Okay.
Yep. I lived in the projects until I was about 10. So I was about 10 years old. And then we moved in with my auntie for a little bit, which was my grandfather's sister. And then we lived in Manhattan with my mom's friend for a little bit. And then when I was about 14, we moved over to Clifton between Bedford and Nostrand. 299 Clifton Place between Bedford and Nostrand.
Okay.
It's like that because I went to the junior high school at 117.
Okay.
So I got to see a lot and learn a lot.
So what was one of your fondest childhood memories?
Oh, man. It would be that one summer. It was so hot. Oh, my God. It was so hot.
Concrete jungle.
I'm talking about so hot. So, like, my mom, she would, like, she get the box fan and put it in the window type shit.
Yes.
So that way, you
that's
know,
how you know you growing
what I
up
mean?
black in the hood.
I'm trying to tell you something. We had the AC in the living room, right? So you could try to, like, in the window to try to circulate through the house.
Yeah, so it's, I call that
then-
central air.
And then the box fan in her room and her window,
Yes.
whatever. And then we had her radio at the time or whatever, little boom box. That was my buddy. You know what I'm saying? And we sat there that day and she just started playing old school music and things like that. And we just started recording.
What type of music though?
We just started recording and singing. We're talking about Frankie Beverly and Maze.
You
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's I'm on that. We're talking about some Al Green. We talking about
a little Aretha.
you know what I'm saying? We talking about all. We
little
talking
love
about
and
all that.
happiness.
A little Earth, Wind, and Fire,
Yes.
baby. We talking about. We talking.
The thing.
Okay.
The thing. Grew up really. I just wanted to share.
I'm just saying,
we
cause
87 babies together, so I want to make sure. It's the young people.
yeah, man, it was a release.
Isn't it 87, 88, 89?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, got it.
That's it.
Like I said, it's the young people in the
87
room.
times 2, 89. But we all part of the same family.
Absolutely.
The best period of time.
I'm with you right
Hello,
now.
can we hello, cheers and sip to that with his empty
like
cup? Look at that.
backwash to me.
I'm just saying it's
I
empty.
know. Look at production not helping with that situation. Anyway, so
Bitch, I am the mixologist.
I can't.
I could get a shot.
I can do that.
I know.
Oh, look at him. He said, "Are you with the shits or not?"
Nah, bro.
I am the shit.
You the shit.
I am the shit. Okay.
I'm with every 9 out of 10. I'm gonna just keep it shit. I ain't with all 10 shit, but I'm with every 9 out of 10, baby.
Shout out to our studio audience that's trying to contain herself.
Really trying.
She literally parked herself behind there so you cannot see her.
That's my sissy. I'm my baby. I'm my sissy. I'm my baby.
Yes.
I
Yes.
see it though.
I'm present, baby. I'm present.
Speaking of being present and knowing yourself,
Ooh.
how long did it take for you to feel like you are in a good place to say that I know myself? And you could be working still. You could still be
Oh, baby, it's still a work in
working.
progress.
Yeah. But like, when did you feel like you were at a good place where I said, this is the first, second iteration of myself. I know myself. When did you start feeling that way?
I started feeling that way when I was
I
about.
was talking about me. I didn't say everybody else. But yeah, go ahead. Then.
I started feeling that way when I was about 27, 28. As I came to a real bottom point. Everything really started to get to me.
Let's
and
talk
then
about that low point. Yes.
it took my daughter at the time, my firstborn. She saved my life.
No, wait, we missed that part. How many
Okay.
children do you have?
I have three.
Talk about that
Three
for-
beautiful.
Side note, let's talk about that for 2
Three
seconds.
beautiful, insanely talented, funny, everything girls. Like all girls.
Wow.
All
Okay,
girls.
and fact check me when it comes to the Dana DNA process.
No problem. I ain't got no shame in my game.
No. So, isn't it a shout out to Medea? It's Tyler Perry production. Isn't it is more likely? Are you more likely to have a boy or a girl? Is it which one is it? Boy or girl? Which one is more likely to happen? Boy or girl? When the birthing process, I thought it was like because the X, Y, and
So you're more likely to have a kid.
yes. Okay. So you have 3 beautiful girls.
3 girls.
Okay.
I always wanted a boy. I never wanted a girl. Never did. Got 3 of them every time. I said, you know what? I'm trying to tell you. But you know what? I learned something. Because if I would have had a boy, I wouldn't have learned anything. I wouldn't have learned nothing. I'd have still been in certain kind of ways. My daughters helped my growth in so many ways. They helped me see things within myself and heal things within myself, even certain things that I tried to block behind a door and all kinds of things. Because I used to tell my mother, I ain't having no goddamn kids. Like, for the simple fact that I was like, I'm looking at you, nigga. I'm straight. I'm not finna. No, I can't do it. That ain't me. She was like, "Oh no, you gonna have me some great?" I said, "Unless your ass is having them." And we had this conversation. She was in my granddaddy bathroom smoking a cigarette.
Okay.
And I was like,
very specific.
I was like, I'm not.
Remember.
Okay. I was like, I'm not finna do it. It ain't finna be me. I can't raise no kid. Like this is you. I can't.
Let's go ahead and take that.
I ain't got nothing to learn from him.
Well, shout out to our early childhood memories.
I always said that I would not have any children. Oh shit! Damn.
I know it.
What I
Yeah.
pick?
I went down
It's
there.
reposado, so she can be a little strong.
I'm talking about, ooh,
I see.
I felt it in my
I always
spirit.
said when I was a child that I would never have any children. And then situations happened and I had a child. And my first child was a girl.
Terrified
my
the shit
baby.
out you.
And my baby girl, literally, I was on the phone with her earlier today. Daddy, I need this. Daddy, I need that. No,
Terrified the
girl.
shit out you.
There is a life lesson, because I have a girl and a boy. There is a life lesson with each one of them, right? Because I have one of both. And I can say to your point that I learned a lot more with the girl, because I'm not a girl, by genetics, right?
That's how I felt. I was like, how can I was like, I don't know how to have, what where do I begin? Because I wasn't taught. I was like, I'm going to have a son because I'm like, I know what to do with a boy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Been there, done that, raised with him all, been through the trenches with him, everything else. I was like, please do not do me like that. Don't do me like that. But I ended up having a daughter. And man, my oldest baby, that motherfucker there.
Yes, motherfucker.
She saved me, bro. Like, she saved me.
You know what I can say in German? I'm going to pass it back to you. What I can say to you is that I learned something with my daughter, but I learned more with my son. Mm-hmm. Because my son taught me how to be a boy. Mm-hmm. And appreciate this life. Mm-hmm. So there was lessons in both. Mm-hmm. But he taught me how to be a boy and appreciate. Mm-hmm. Because when
I was a girl and I didn't realize I was a girl. Because my mom she was so tough and she was so guarded. There was no crying, bro. She looked like suck that through a straw. If you can't get through this, you're not going to be able to get through life. That was pretty much how it was. And it was like, and I had a daughter and I was like, what am I supposed to do with you? What am I supposed to do with you? And she taught me sensitivity. She taught me compassion. She taught me patience. She taught me those things. And I was just like, man, if it wasn't for you, boo,
what was it? What was the puff out?
If it wasn't for you, boo, your mom's probably would have been locked up or 6 feet under kind of shit. Because that was the route that I was in, right. To be perfectly honest. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to grow up at a really young age. Because, my mom, she was sick. And I didn't know she was sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, she had a mental illness and things like that. I had no idea. You know what I mean? So it was like, I was the strength. I was the rock. I was the everything. Yeah. And at that time, your parent is supposed to be your parent. I'm supposed to be able to rely on you, lean on you. You're supposed to teach me. I'm not supposed to teach you. I'm not supposed to take care of you. Like my great-grandmother used to say, my grandfather's mother, she used to tell me. She was like, once an adult, twice a child. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I said, so let's be clear. How in the hell you twice a child already? I can't. I just made it here. I'm only 10. Like, why am I so responsible? I don't know what I gotta tuck my feelings. You supposed to teach me how to deal with this shit. I don't know how to deal with this shit. Like,
life situations will quickly bring you around, though.
It will.
And even in that, though, you have to find out, as you naturally do, because it's like, if I'm up at the plate, I'm finna
better. Like, I'm finna,
knock it out the park. Knock it out.
But I'm just like, at the same time, motherfucker, damn, you can have astigmatism in both eyes, motherfucker. How you supposed to see that shit? The glare of the sun. Like the glare of the sun. Me too, boo. Like the glare of the sun, baby. How am I supposed to see that shit? I'm supposed to be Stevie Wonder, hit that shit blind. Like, help me out. Give me a shot. Give me a sign. I don't know. But no, when I was 27, and I was about to have my second daughter. Mm-hmm. And
what was it, daughter?
Yeah, I was about to have my daughter. My kids get on me all the time. They be like, "Mommy, say that again," and I'm like, "You know what? Shut up." Just because I'm from Atlanta.
I embrace it. No, that wasn't even Atlanta. That was New York.
That was definitely.
Yeah, but my girls.
I'm counting.
My oldest girls.
When this airs, I'm literally it's literally gonna be.
Nola and Naja, my babies. They are Atlanteans. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Atlanteans.
And it's Mommy, why you sound funny, and I'm just like, you know what?
The regional
I can't help. I can't help where I'm from. It is what it is. But then it's even when
That's
I
why
go.
you here.
But even when I go home, sometimes it's, oh, you ain't from here no more. Let me tell you something, baby. You can't take my apple from me, boo.
Yes.
Like point blank and period. I've earned my name on every corner. Okay,
Yes.
don't
What
get it
corners
twisted.
was it? Just
Okay,
name a few.
Name a few. Ooh, baby, Malcolm X. Let's get it clear. Okay, Bedford Stuyvesant. Let's make it clear.
Okay.
Tompkins, baby. Let's make it
Go
clear.
ahead, shout out.
Troop. Let's make it clear.
Okay.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Clinton Hills. Let's make it clear. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, baby, that New York is coming out, baby.
You know, it's a thing. It is a thing. And a lot of people say that home is where your heart is. Let's be clear. Home is where your heart is.
Yes, it's crystal.
Okay? And I take that real literally because New York will forever and always be my home because it taught me about life and how grimy and how hard, but then also how beautiful it could be.
A diamond in the rough.
All at the, you know what I'm saying? All at the same time. It taught me things that other certain places couldn't always be my home.
It prepared you for life.
Facts. And a lot of people can't make it out of that because a lot of people are comfortable of where they are. I was never that type of person. I was never that type of person. I was always the person that was risky out there taking chances, this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. Because at the end of the day, if you wasn't, then how were you living?
What we doing?
What we doing? Where we going? You know what I mean? And I got that from my mom, even though I was resented for it in a lot of ways, especially from my family, because of their fear and things like that.
Right.
She wasn't all the way up there. But at the end of the day, that woman taught me more than I could ever imagine.
So, a shout out to all the parents that's out there, whether you're a mother or a father,
Yeah.
single or doubled. Okay? Mother's Day and Father's Day.
In fact,
Loading, which is 365, by the way. Okay? So, there is the element of you being born into the generation that's we're considered millennials, right? And so your children are considered Generation Z. And so noticing the differences in parenting styles and noticing how the most present generation,
Right.
which is considered alpha now. Yeah, which is crazy for me. The alpha
tell me about it.
generation.
I can't keep up half the time.
Yeah, they started over because
I can't keep up half the time. Like, I saw this one motherfucker on damn social media talking about something. You were born in the 1900s. Hold on, bitch. Don't try to put me in
it
history book yet.
No, I think it's the energy
Like-
behind it. What you insinuating, bitch?
You know what I'm saying? What you trying to say?
Like, you give me 1920 and you make me old. You make me feel like I'm old.
What?
You know?
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not that one.
I age with time, baby. I'm just like wine.
Fine wine,
boo.
baby. Yes. Shout out.
The older it get, the better it get, baby. Let's be clear. Can't nobody do like me, no.
Noticing the difference in parenting styles and how the current generation rather, how they love to make bigger problems or look at certain situations. That's a problem, like the cancel culture and all that stuff. Back in our day,
Man, we were built with tough skin.
Yes.
So it's totally different. This generation, they have made them so sensitive, so naive, so lazy. Everything is at your fingertips type thing. And how I was raised was that, baby, you got to have a leather back. You got to be like you in the motherfucking slave days, baby. If that whip hit your back, you got to make sure that bitch don't cut through because
Right.
you got to live to see another day.
right?
Okay? So it's difficult. It's definitely difficult, especially when you have multiple children because they have different personalities.
Yes.
Like, you can talk to one child one way.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they can get it, they can receive it. And then you could talk to your other child
The same way.
same way.
Yeah, it's
And they
a whole
don't
different-
get it. They get defensive, they get emotional, they get whatever. It's like you have to get to know who they are individually.
Yes.
And that's where a lot of parents back then messed up, because I looked at my grandparents for that one, because there's my mom, who was the oldest, my uncle, who was the second oldest, and then you had the twins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they'll put it to you out there all day, every day. Oh, we was raised the same. We was brought up in the same house, and we don't understand, wow, this, that, and the third, and X, Y, Z, and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, because you guys were different individuals. And at the end of the day, my grandparents was only doing what they knew of and what they were taught. And when they felt like it didn't work, then they try to do something different kind of with you. It's like trial and error. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you can't treat a kid like they are robot and this, that, and the third. Like, I used to hate that phrase, don't do what I do what I tell you to do.
Do what I say. So I brought this up for a reason, because there's so many things, the differences in generation, because I read up on this last week. The millennial generation is the generation that embraced technology. We were the pioneers of starting to embrace technology, but we didn't depend on technology. We just,
I had a beeper.
Yeah, we were in the
I had the cord phone, where like the cord ran all the way to my
we were in the days where we were in the days when it went from
we had payphones.
Yes, when we had payphones. We had dial up when we transitioned to DSL.
Yeah, you got to hit them.
Yes. Okay, brr.
You know?
And it went from that to DSL. We was in that technology generation, and then we had broadband, and then it got faster from there. But it was such a pivotal moment, a pivotal generation we were in.
It was.
And looking at the fact that I mentioned earlier that we're in a cancel culture where we're just able to just dismiss, we don't deal with that, and versus our generation where
let's
we have to deal with it.
Let's be perfectly clear. You can't dismiss me, baby. Okay? Let's be perfectly clear. Okay? And you know what? I go by this thing now. You know what? I might be replaceable, but I'm unforgettable, baby. I am unforgettable.
Yes.
You can replace me all day, every day, but you ain't gonna be me, boo. Okay?
Right.
You ain't gonna forget me. You know what I mean?
What would you say? Because we have our pros and cons. Like we have a thicker skin because of the parenting, the raising we had. But there's also, and I'm about to transition you to this next topic here, Black mental health. Because you mentioned earlier how you wish you had a different upbringing or a different interaction with your mother?
Yeah.
So now that you're here,
nobody ever wanted to be honest with me with that. And that bothered me. Considering the fact.
And just for the camera, because your camera's over there. Which part of that, or what do you... I love it.
You see me.
You said, people are not being honest. Who are you referring to about being honest with part?
I'm talking about my family, for one, because they were brought up in a different era kind of thing or whatever. Like my granddaddy used to goddamn pick tobacco and all kinds of other shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everything was real hush, real quiet kind of thing. It's whatever the cards was dealt, you got to deal with, but you got to keep it to yourself.
And how does that affect the Black mental culture?
A lot.
Talk about it.
A lot, because at the end of the day, you feel ashamed. You feel embarrassed. And then sometimes you got to put up this facade and act you so strong, you so that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you human. You bleed like I bleed if you struck. You know what I'm saying? You get sick like I get sick. You're held to a certain standard. Like you're made to feel like something is wrong with you. Like you're not worth the walking around on this earth like everybody else, because your brain doesn't operate and function like some people. You know what I mean? And that was hard, because I'm just like, at the end of the day, I felt my mom or my family could have trusted me a little bit more. Like, you entrusted me to be strong and be here. Like, my grandfather, I will never forget that conversation. It got real bad between me and my mom, and I called my granddaddy like, I can't do this. I'm a kid. I'm not supposed to. Like, I'm going through so much, and he's, your mother needs you, and you're not about to be a burden to nobody else. You're not about to. And I'm like, nigga, I'm 10. The fuck is you talking about? Like, how am I supposed to be responsible for a grown-ass motherfucker that's supposed to be teaching me, nurturing me, but you want, what kind of shit is that? Not understanding or realizing that I was having my own trials and tribulations myself.
I think you did. I think you prioritize it differently because your family requested something from you, and because the stigma in the Black community is for us to, our elders, we have to
listen.
We have to not only listen, but like when they say something, like we have to jump and do it.
Yeah, you fall in line. You automatically conform.
But in that same sense, in that same token, what happens when we are out of line in our community? What happens? How does an elder respond to insubordination or someone that's being defiant, or what happens in that community?
You get punished, or you get pushed out, or you get, you know what I'm saying?
You can be real, like do you get whoopings? You get spankings.
Damn, man, past that. Like,
talk about that.
Like past that. Like past it. And it's like, you ain't no better than me. Like, you've done more dirt than I have.
And
like,
that goes back to the fact that when you were saying, and give me that phrase again.
The pot that calls the kettle.
I keep fucking it up, but I know what it means. But like when those moments in time, have you had that moment where with your children where it was that phrase?
Absolutely.
And how did it make you feel?
Absolutely.
Because it felt very familiar.
Like my oldest. Absolutely, my oldest. We was having a real raw conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you're getting older, you can such things, and I know that you done seen a lot and this and the third, and I'm trying to talk to you because I'm like, I know me and your dad then separated. I know such and such. I want to know how you feeling. And mommy want to know that at the end of the day, am I enough? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I spoke to my daughter, and the fact that she had all these insecurities and things and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there looking at her like, hold on, time out. Unlike me, like, you've always been told you're beautiful. You've always been told you're smart. You've always been told, you know what I'm saying? Unlike me. So where is this coming from? Right. You know what I'm saying? I had to get it. And she was just like, even though sometimes I hear certain things or sometimes I whatever, at the end of the day, sometimes when a person feels a certain kind of way, you know what I'm saying? They try to bring you down to their thing or whatever. And then I was just like, whoa. I had to take a step back.
Did it feel familiar?
Damn, like she sounds like me. Because how can you compliment me? You know what I'm saying? And then insult me at the same time.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I was just like, damn, you know what? I got you.
Yep.
We're going to get through this together.
So it's those aha moments.
Yeah.
It humbles you in a way. Because it's like you recognize how you were brought up, right? And then you saw the connection, like how I was brought up and I wasn't okay with that. And then your offspring says the same thing and it's, oh, shit.
Facts.
Oh, shit. Like, I need to do better. Let me help.
You know, because it's like, well, mommy, I see you. So you don't always pull yourself together. And so I'm like, why you going to... You ain't even making sure your shirt's straight or your head dirt. Like, baby, hey, you walk out of here. You, not only do you represent yourself, you represent me. And she was like, well, mama, you go out with such and such on too. And I'm like, ooh. Okay.
It's a two-way street because they represent you, but you represent them.
And I was like, I ain't even got nothing to say to that. Like, I gotta...
Exactly.
I'm like, okay. I got to pull my weight.
So that goes to our...
Do-over.
Reverse.
Okay.
So that goes to the next point here, which deals with the stigma, the mental health element of our community. Absolutely. And so that all ties into what we were just talking about as far as there is a certain upbringing that we had. A new generation, which was Generation Z and now Alpha, and how they really, in this day and age, they really focus on mental health and how certain actions can, you know, affect a person. And so do you feel, honestly, the mental health, getting therapists and all that stuff, do you feel like they should have, if that had happened in our generation, would that have made a bigger difference? And how I
think so, but it's like you got to be open to it. Let's be perfectly clear.
Yes, because our generation, our ancestors, if you will,
they were not
against that shit. What happens in this house?
That happens in this house. At the end of the day, you need to talk to the. You know what I'm saying? You need to talk to the Lord. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, and you would know off rip. Wait a minute. Some just don't feel right. You know what I mean? And You can come to me, you could talk to me, you could whatever. But then it's
They
like,
say
even when
that-
you go, even when you say that, you still judge me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
And
still
so what happened when you feel judgment? What happens?
Right, you
shut down.
You shut down. Because at the end of the day, you throw judgment, you throw your shade, you throw everything else. But that is to, you know what I'm saying, help them. Because at the end of the day, they want you to put you in the same boat. They want to take the energy that you have to help them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand it or learn that until I got older. You know what I mean? Because my mom was real, whatever, with a lot of things. Like me, for instance, I was born a drug-addicted baby. Let's be clear. And I can say that nowadays with pride. And let me tell you something.
But it took a while. It took
a while. Like, I didn't learn this till I was like 17.
Yeah.
I didn't learn this about myself.
Yeah.
I had to go to certain classes. I had to do certain things. And then I used to wonder why certain people would come to the house and I would have to get tested for stuff and this and the third. And my mom was just like, you gonna put her in a regular class. Ain't nothing wrong with her.
Yeah.
She gonna whatever. And I struggled through school so hard
Why do you think that is?
because I couldn't keep up with how other kids would keep up. And my mom would just feed it into me that you normal, you just not, this is. But if somebody would have took the time to talk to me, reason with me, you know what I'm saying? I think it would have been a little bit different instead of me feeling, yo, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Like, damn, how she doing this and I can't do this? Or how?
Yeah, but it took you some years to understand that because, again, we've been conditioned, and we're still here with Miss Lee here. We've been conditioned as African Americans in our
Absolutely.
household, in the generational curse, right?
Absolutely.
For not talking about things, not embracing mental health,
Especially being a black woman.
especially being a black
Especially
woman.
being a black woman. And
Yes.
especially being a black man. Like, you got to there's no...
Especially being a black man, because we were not allowed to show any emotion.
You don't have no feelings.
We can't.
At the end of the day, you don't
We had to grow up
have-
very fast.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have no feelings. And if you do have feelings, I'm going to beat them out you. Because at the end of the day, you supposed to be strong. You're supposed to be a leader. You're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? You're
The head
supposed
of
to be
the
the person
family.
that I can lean on and
Yes.
everything else. And if you can't do that, then my nigga, you ain't shit. And then you get shunned on and pushed away
Yes.
and everything else.
Yes.
And that becomes a complex. That becomes a part of your
It does
everyday
something to you.
life. And it makes it
does
hard
something
for
to
you to open up or feel human. Like, I got feelings too.
Right.
Like, I'm built just like you. That's one of the things that I did get from my grandfather. Because my grandmother was, my great-grandmother, she was very hard on my granddaddy because he was the oldest. Out of 7 kids, he was the oldest.
Okay.
Okay? So, my granddaddy left my grandmama's house when he was 17 because he got my grandmother pregnant. My granddaddy left and he went to New York without a pot to piss in or really a coin to throw it at. You know what I'm saying? No real education, no none of that. But he was driven because my grandmother was pregnant with my mom. And at the end of the day, he was like, I'm going to handle my responsibilities. I'm going to do what I got to do. And it took my grandmother to teach him some things because they were best friends. You know what I'm saying? So she got to see the kid him and
Yeah.
she got to see
The
him.
growth.
She got to see him as an adult and everything else. So it was like he taught her and she taught him. You know what I'm saying? So my grandfather was able to open up a lot of doors for me. My grandfather was the one that allowed me to be vulnerable and things like that, even when he didn't agree to it. He did. But then also, he made me so strong, so independent, so whatever else, that it made it difficult for me when it came to men and things like that. Granted, I've already had my bad experiences because of other things, but
Yeah.
it made it difficult because I'm the dude. Like, I was like, yeah, you helped me, but at the same time, you messed me up, bro.
So we spoke on the different generations, the parenting styles, the stigmas within our communities. And so the one thing I recently had a conversation with another friend about removing, actually a coworker, how she had a problem with how institutional, as far as a society rather, how we remove older generations from the house and deeming them as the problem. And I'll give you an example. Homes.
Right.
Older elderly homes.
Right.
Old folks homes. What's another one, another phrase for it? Where nursing homes. Where we would place the older generation, we remove them from the current generation.
Right.
And granted, they did the best that they could. Right.
They went over what they knew.
And even though there's pros and cons from that experience, how important do you feel that generation and what problems do you have with placing that generation in a home that's detached from 2 generations later, your children's generation, right? Like, how important is that to have that interaction, and what problem do you have with society pushing people to nursing homes because we're like, I don't be done with it. I can't deal with it. Right. But our generation, we were raised to, we're going to support, respect, support.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's pros and cons to that.
It is.
So how do you feel about that?
It absolutely is. At the end of the day, you get flowers where they're due. Let's be clear.
Let's get flowers to that.
You know what I'm saying? Because they made a lot of the sacrifices that we didn't. Right. They went through a lot of the things that we didn't. And let's be clear, everything is still the same, baby. It's just a different kind of year. Let's be clear. It's all the same. Right. Racism is the same.
It's
Hate is the same. Disrespect is the same. It just comes in a different form. Jealousy is the same. Everything is the same. Who the hell you gonna get it from? Except from the day one who knows it from dirt. Like, they're the ones that can teach you and prepare you whether you want to hear it or not. And that is the difference with this generation now. They don't want to hear it. They think they've been here longer than you. Baby, you don't only been here for 5 minutes. Let me explain something to you. Right. Like, I was a kid too. Because you think you saw it on the internet, or you think that. What makes you think that they have more education than me? What makes you think that they have more knowledge than me? Like, you're not paying attention. Right. Like, you're not getting it. Right. And then at the end of the day, they want to cry, oh, I can't believe this happened. Maybe if you would have listened the first time, boo, then you would have got it. Yeah. Okay? Yes. You can't neglect the people that have come before you.
And paved the way.
You know what I'm saying? You cannot neglect the people that went through the pain, the stress, the tears, the heartache, the whatever. You can't do that. You can't do that.
So we talked about how society disconnects us from our previous generations. But do you feel, because we've been conditioned to deal with a lot of mental distress.
Of course.
Because of our community, our upbringing. Do you find any positivity or any upside to having senior homes? Do you see any? You can be honest. I know you will be.
Can I take a sip?
You can take as many sips as you need.
Before it get real.
Oh, baby, it's been real the whole time.
Let me.
If you need to hydrate, just say that.
A little bit of a fan, if you will. Okay. Let's be clear. I think. Let me tell you something. My granddaddy, blessed and highly favored he is. Okay. He did not, for everything in his power, put my grandmother in a home. Okay. He didn't. I'm talking about this man went without sleep. I'm talking about damn near looking sick because it was taking a lot out of him. Mind you, he got sisters and shit that stayed literally right there but won't do shit for their mama. But he stepped up because he was like, I refuse to put my mother in a home and let her deteriorate. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to let her feel like she's alone or she's abandoned. No matter what she's done, no matter what she said, at the end of the day, she was my mother. She taught me something. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be damned if I let anybody diminish that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I held like the biggest honor and the biggest respect to that, because a lot of people do that because it's easier on them.
Right.
They don't want the responsibility.
Right.
They don't want that.
Right.
They don't want that. What they got going on is whatever more important and blah, blah, blah. Not understanding the fact that at those moments, sometimes it's what you get that you need the most. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's a certain disrespect kind of thing. So you think you so much better than me that you gonna put me over here because you ain't got time, but you got time to do X, Y, and Z. Who?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Who,
it's like you pushing me out.
like, who put you on this pedestal? Like, how dare you?
I definitely can chime in, tap into that, because my grandmother, right, and so she had a lot of health ailments, and my mother and my uncles and aunties, they have their own families, and felt they didn't have the bandwidth to deal with those issues that their mother, my grandmother, had, and they were considering a group home. Or not nursing, it's a nursing home, sorry. And I was mixed emotions about it, because on one side, I saw my mother literally trying to have a life. She's approaching 60, and she's trying to have a life, and then she's trying to, it's like the grandmother or her mother, you have that cycle where you're a child and you become an adult grandparent, and then you go back to being a child because of the issues you may have, and so now they're caring for you, which is how it should be.
Right.
But that's why I wanted to get your take on the positivity, the upside of being in a group home, because as a community, we've been conditioned to, hey, we have to take care of our own, or take care of our predecessors, right? Pay homage and respect them, which is nothing wrong with that. But what's the sacrifice you have to make? What's the cost to doing that? Because I've seen my mother, she literally aged because she was taking on the burden of my grandmother's issues, and she doesn't have a life anymore. And so, like, there is that. What is it when it comes down to it? Which one is society right? Providing an out, or are we just giving up?
And you know what? I can speak on that, because we saw my grandfather go through the same thing. We felt he was deteriorating. Like, he was, like, really starting to, like, you know what I'm saying, do his own thing. And then at one point, we were even just, why don't you get some help? We're not saying put grandma in a home or whatever else and this, that, and the third. But get you some help so that way you still have something for yourself. And see, that's where a lot of people fall short as. They just want to just drop it off on somebody else because it's like, it's too much for me to handle. Let's be clear. But at the end of the day, nobody like like a stranger can only do but so much.
Yes.
And a lot of people in those predicaments and things like that, they're doing everything for a check. I got to get paid. So I'm not, there's not going to be the same type of care. It's not going to be the same type of comfort. It's not going to be the same type of understanding because they're not connected to you. They're connected to the money that's flowing in. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather's process was like, I'll be damned. This is not, I'm giving them, if it put me in the ground before her, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. It's like, hold up, wait a minute.
Right.
You got to do what you're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, man, you not by yourself. You need some help. They was like, well, I don't want to hire no strangers. We perfectly do understand. Let's go ahead and get family in on this. Right. So then we hired my cousin Gwen to come in and help. Mind you, before that, my aunties, praise them, okay, was flying up and down the highway. My Auntie Nisi is in New York. My Auntie Deidre, she's in Georgia. Up and down the highway every month to give my grandfather a break to be there for my great-grandmother. And at this time, my grandfather was like in his 70s and things like that.
Right.
When my great-grandmother passed, she was 92.
Okay.
So it's all about how you really see life and how you value it. And nowadays, the young generation, they don't value life.
Right.
They don't. It's almost like a video game to them. They don't value or appreciate what it is.
As much as we did.
You know what I'm saying? Or what it has to offer.
Exactly.
Or whatever else. They think they know everything because the internet and society and everything else has provided from whatever. If I see it on the screen, it's true. But what you say to me, I can't 100% take it as valid because I don't see it down here. But babe, where you think it came from? If you don't stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. Point blank and period.
And guess what? And what generation taught us that? Our older ones, our ancestral ones. They taught us that because our generation doesn't live. Only ones that actually didn't. Let me say this, by the way. We're not saying that our current generation that's out there doesn't have a level head. There are ones out there that clearly does, but they were raised differently. They were
completely
whole different generation that was raised differently. But we're saying that there's a clear difference.
They were prepared for this generation before us. That's what makes it sane. Like, you would hear what they were saying, and you just like, how you don't even know this was going, like you, and then you get there and you like
this.
Man.
A few moments later.
And then we grow up.
Like, we grow up. Like, what in the world? Because
we was in a rush of like, I can't wait to grow up.
Oh my goodness.
And then guess what? Fuck adulting.
Okay. My granddaddy used to say, oh, you think you know everything.
Yep.
And I'm just like, no, I just know the answers
so
to
desperate
your
to
questions.
prove them wrong.
Well, my mom was like, oh, you'll never understand it until you get older. And I used to always hate that shit. Why don't you just tell me?
Hated that
Why don't
phrase.
you just trust me enough, nigga, to tell me? If I'm already dealing with life's bullshit, help a sister out.
Exactly.
But I understood it.
Yes.
After a while, I started to understand it.
Right. So goes back to, let's talk about learning some shit that we did not need. So scripting, you started with one.
Okay,
the scripting part, like we're learning things in cursive, right?
Mm-hmm.
When's the only time where you need to use cursive?
Signature.
And that involves what?
Okay.
Usually involves
Money. Or
contracts
what's that?
pertaining to money.
It's money.
So they were teaching us, they had a whole course
Whole course.
on
Scripting.
and guess what? We only use it for signing checks or
checks
a
is
binding
agreement.
agreement.
Absolutely.
I feel emphasis on the wrong things.
We was cheated.
Meanwhile, current generation is learning different languages.
Hell, my daughter taught
in
herself
elementary
Japanese.
school.
My daughter taught herself Japanese. God damn it. No, she started teaching herself when she was about 7 years old because she was in the anime. She taught herself fucking Japanese.
I'm trying to, because
And I'm like,
this is one of
another
those
language.
topics.
Like, ain't nobody even like,
That wasn't even a thing.
that
for
wasn't
us.
even a thing. The only thing that we had was what? Spanish class. And then we got older, it was French.
Yeah,
That was it.
But I learned French in high school.
That was it. No.
As an elective. That
was
you gotta
it.
give one or the other.
That was it.
Spanish was for, I went for
That was
French.
it.
And guess what? That's
it.
one of the things I don't really use now.
Listen,
I'm not in Louisiana.
we're not taught about money
There's no
at
budget
all.
economics.
We were not taught about any
bit.
of that. But we were taught how to keep a home because, hold on, there was what? Home ec? We had that. Okay? Like my mom used to write songs sometimes and all kinds of things because that's what helped her get through, you know what I'm saying, depression and stress and things like that.
Music.
My mom was, and when I say this motherfucker could blow, like she get you goosebumps every time she opened her mouth. I'm talking about when the bitch sang happy birthday. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm talking about the Stevie version, okay? Hello? Okay, so I came from that. I came from the record player, okay? Not just the old school. No, motherfucker. We talking about 45s and all of that on the record where you got the down, put that shit down there, okay? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about fucking, what is it? Super rhymes. And then, what is it? What is it, Cool Gang? Or is it something like that? Yeah, like, I came from all of that. Like, my mom would play music religiously. You know what I mean? So it was her therapy. And with that, it became my therapy.
And you applied that to 90s music.
I applied that to 90s music. I applied that to my life. Like Mary J. Blige, baby, will forever and all day I'm in there. If I meet Mary, I swear for God, I may lay out like a goddamn rock on me. It's a puddle. Here you go. You ain't finna get them feet. You not about to get them feet wet with me, bitch.
Shout out to Mary J. Blige.
You not about to do that.
You're welcome to come on the show, by the way.
You got me through some shit,
Yes.
okay?
With that being said, Mary J. Blige
Man.
was we saw her life unfold.
Did you not?
We saw Mary when she was going through it.
Did you
and
not?
when Mary when she was happy.
Did you not?
Mary was sad.
You knew when Mary was sad, bro. Like, my mom called me one day because I was like in my feelings. I think I was because we were still in the projects at this time. So I'm probably about 7 or 8. Okay. And I'm sitting in front of the stereo and I'm just rocking. And I think it was My Life that was playing.
The song?
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting there and I'm rocking and I'm singing my heart out.
Yes.
And my mother looked at me and she was just like, I did not know that you had this in you. Like, the music from the 90s, it was real. It was raw. It was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was legit. It wasn't for the likes, for the fans, for the lights, for the comments. It was
That was before social media.
It was
social
before
media.
all of that. It was all about expression.
Of
It was
themselves.
all about, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It was all about reality. It was all about growth. It was all about healing. It was all about pain. It was all about love. It was all about all of that.
So we had Miss Jade on the show. Yeah, your sis. And so she has a niche where she's able to memorize movie and TV shows.
I memorize music.
And so that's where I was going with that. So I want to challenge you.
Okay.
And not in this podcast, but in the next one where I'm going to play 2-second snippets of songs.
Oh, bet.
And you have to be able to identify.
Run it, baby. I'm ready.
Identify what song
You're
that
the
is.
one
And I'm going to go.
Challenge.
Yeah, accepted. I'm with the shits, baby. I remember sitting on the couch with my mama that day. When I say it was in December, it was about -10 degrees. When I'm talking about the glass of water I had sitting in my window was motherfucking frozen.
I believe it.
The only room that had electricity was my mama's.
house.
And we sitting in the living room and I'm in a blanket and I'm like, why we can't go stay with aunties or something like that? And she said, baby, let me tell you something. We got more than anybody could ever have. Why you think folks are so upset with us? And I said, I'm looking at her like,
Girl.
nigga, if you open the refrigerator, there's a Budweiser, bitch, and some mayonnaise. Real shit, nigga. Nah, you see, it's a Budweiser, it's some mayonnaise. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean? That we got more than, baby.
But back then you didn't understand.
And she was like, we have love. We have loyalty. We have respect. We have who we are. And she was like, at the end of the day, people kill for what we have. And she was like, why you think rich people? She was like, you think people with money got it better than us? She was like, why you think they so mad? Why you think a lot of them are dying? Why you think a lot of them are such and such? And I'm looking at her like, you on some shit. You smoked to that? I literally asked, like, you, and she slapped me. I ain't gonna lie. Like, right upside the head. She was like, bitch, who you talking to? That was how that was. My mom was straight real with my ass. And I was like, what? And I grew to understand it. You know what I mean? And she was just like, whenever you feel a certain way or whenever, you know what I'm saying? She was like, go to your music. Not only do you go to your music, you go to God. Because at the end of the day, he know you better than you know yourself.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, he wrote your book before you did.
Absolutely.
Like, for anything and everything. She was like, you are the richest person in the world. And I'm looking at her like, I know for real, your ass is lost.
Because my bank account.
Like, I'm like, nigga, I know you. Nigga,
My allowance don't
and
say
in
that.
the beds had been like, nigga, my daughter ain't even got no knob. Nigga, what the fuck? What you mean? I started to grasp it. I started to get it. The 90s, like, really helped me get through. That music, I mean, Little Mo.
There you go.
That was my thing. Junior high school, I went into that Little Mo phase because she was dark skinned. I see me, I was teased so much. Not only because I was little, I'm talking about soaking wet. Throw water on me. I was 100 pounds. That's with clothes. Soaking wet. If I took the clothes off, a bitch was probably like 85. Okay? I'm not even gonna lie to you, okay? And all of my friends were way more, what they call it, lustrous. They were voluptuous. They were blessed. Okay? And I wasn't. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I don't really see nobody like me. It was always the light skins that got attention and everything else. I'm talking about motherfuckers throw spitballs with the damn straws and shit. My mother used to braid my hair up while it was wet because I was tender-headed. So she used to braid it up when it was wet, and then she used the hot comb the next day because she didn't want to put too much heat in my head, and I had doodle braids and all this other shit. So I used to get teased and all kinds of shit. And it came to music, and it was like, man. And I would look at people like, man, like Adina Howard, Mary J. Thoughts every rule my world. I even dream of you. I swear.
What artist is that?
Memories of you and I.
What artist is that?
Hey. See you all around my way. Been meaning to say hi, but I'm just way too shy. That is okay. Time out. Pause. Rewind. Hold on. No, that is not any of those. That is fuck. Teedra Moses.
Yes.
Teedra Moses.
There you go.
Teedra Moses. Because my cousin actually wrote this song.
Oh, wow.
Teedra Moses.
Okay.
Just wanna be your girl.
Well, we definitely have enjoyed you on this show.
Absolutely.
I didn't get to everything I wanted to ask you.
Well,
but
baby, there's always time.
there's always other
I'm
opportunities
here.
because you're coming back.
Here.
You're coming back. You're coming back. So before we
Absolutely.
depart, how can people follow you? How can they find you?
You know what? They can find me on Instagram of My World Lee. L-double-E. Like as in Bruce Lee. Because I have to correct people. Because for some reason, folks be like, L-E-I-G-A. No, nigga, it's L-E. Like Bruce Lee. Okay? Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
Put some respect on my name, okay?
Yes.
So, and be My World Lee on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? Or LA Brad Ham, as in Brad Pitt and a piece of ham, baby. Okay, let's make it on Facebook. Yeah, okay.
Well, Miss Lee, we are so ecstatic to have you on there. Give her another round of applause. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you guys for joining this podcast. She will be back, no worries. Because we got some more to dive into.
I might be joining. I might be another contact.
Till the next time, we will talk to you guys later, and we will see her again.
Absolutely. Very soon.
Very soon.
Right away. Don't make me hunt you down, baby, because
You know where to find me. I'll see y'all
I can
next
make
time,
you
y'all.
do what it do, baby.
Hey.